Hello, guys. We're gonna watch the Phil Spencer interviewed. I saw some parts. Jesus Christ, is that fucking bad?
It's going to be a fun
All right.
time together. Phil, let's just jump right into it. And it's a tough way to start this episode. It's my birthday this week, and I didn't want to have to do it like this. But, Phil, it's been a tough week in the Xbox universe. As you know, of course, the CMA kind of blocking our acquisition of Activision.
What the fuck you say? Owls active. Owls? Are you serious, bro? You don't fuck your own Xbox. That's why I got some fucking pony literally owls. That's the same thing for PlayStation fanboys. Jesus. Let me get this. Alright.
Blizzard King and Redfall coming out, 2 core reviews at the launch. Let's start off at the top. Phil, let's talk about the CMA and, of course, this Activision Blizzard acquisition. How are you feeling about this? What should be the overall mindset for Xbox gamers when we look at this after months and months of conversation?
Yeah, we remain confident. Obviously, the news from the CMA,
Yeah, I got fucking bullshit. They're not confident at all.
which for those not tracking all this, is the United Kingdom's regulatory board on acquisitions to block the acquisition. We will be appealing that. That's our plan. We continue to work with the European Union. We'll continue to work with the
I thought they already did appeal that. Alright.
FTC. I think there are like 14 jurisdictions all up. We're working on approval. I think we have 9 approvals so far. But the CMA decision was disappointing. I've been talking to that group for coming up on a year. They've defined a market of cloud gaming that, in my mind, doesn't really exist yet today. But they have a point of view that maybe we have a lead in a market that is just forming, and that this content could somehow prohibit others from competing in that market. But we'll appeal. We stay on it. The company remains very, very committed. We think very committed. We think Activision Blizzard King is not our strategy, but it is an accelerant for our strategy. So we're still heads down and working through regulatory.
I am pleased to hear that, of course, as a big fan of many of those gaming franchises over there. I'm looking forward to seeing this deal go through, and I'm glad to hear that you and the team are still hard at work at making this happen. It's been a long road.
Yeah, I got fucking bullshit. They're hard work. I'm sorry. If they cannot really act the new, what they will call Redfall 60 FPS, they have a lot of bugs and glitches. They're not working hard, my fucking ass.
It's been a tough road to talk about each and every single week, kind of falling apart, but
it's always the Brits, isn't it, Mike? We're always the fly in the ointment. We just got to rain on everyone's parade.
It's a tough one, Gary. Of course, we got to move on to the next one. Phil, of course, Redfall has released from Arcane Austin, and it's been a tough release week for that, coming out to low reviews and a lot of disappointment from many fans. Can you talk about that? What is your thoughts right now as we head into the first week of this game being out?
Yeah, I'll start. I'll hit Redfall, but I'll just say all up. There's nothing that's more difficult for me than disappointing the Xbox community.
Bro, you release a fucking buggy ass fucking game. Buggy ass fucking game. I got fucking bullshit, bro.
I've been a part of it for a long time. I obviously work on Xbox, head of the business, have a lot of friends, get a lot of feedback. And
Why the hell you do not use the fucking feedback to fix Xbox? I'm sorry. That's why I got fucking bullshit in that.
And just to kind of watch the community lose confidence, be disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm upset with myself. I kind of revisit our process. I think back to the announcement of 60 frames per second, and then we weren't shipping 60 frames per second. That was kind of our punch in the chin, rightfully, a couple weeks ago. And then
that's why I fucking heard when you buy a graphical disc, they put a sticker for 30 frames per second for now. Because if they don't, anyone can fucking sue them. Legal shit. Don't know too much about that, but yeah, you can sue them because literally they say it's about 60 frames per second, but they put a sticker, nobody can sue their ass no more.
Seeing the game come out and the critical response was not what we wanted, and it's disappointing. And so, kind of pick myself up. What can we learn? How can we get better?
Dude, you been in the fucking business for fucking video game for, I'm gonna take a guess, I don't remember, I think 20 years? You had 20 or 30 years, I don't remember. You still fucking learning? Jesus fucking Christ.
One thing I'll fight is kind of what went wrong. There's clearly quality and execution things.
Oh, you not be a fucking boss. You need to grow some balls, stop being friends with your workers, and be a boss. Get the fucking whip and tell them to go back to fucking work. Simple as that.
That we can do. But one thing I won't do is push against the creative aspirations of our teams.
Yeah, because of that fucking bullshit, look at what happened. They are not fucking released games. It's been 3 years already. 2 or 3 years already. No exclusive fucking game for the Xbox.
Then a lot of people will say, hey, you've got teams know how to do one kind of game. Just
fucking do that. I'm sorry, but if one of your team know how to make a fucking game like that, tell them to fucking do that.
Here's another old whip.
just force them to go do the one kind of game that they have a proven track record for.
This is what they need to do. Serious Santa had to go some balls and whip them. Whip them to go back to fucking work.
And I'm just not a believer in that. Maybe that means I'll...
That's your fucking mistake. You not believe it. You literally need to. I think, oh, these people can make this kind of game. Alright, get the whip, tell them to make the kind of games. But no, I not believe it. They can literally do anything they want. What? Okay, what's gonna happen? Literally, Xbox gonna shut down. All the fucking people are gonna lose their fucking job because of you. Because of you, Phil. I don't want that, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna be your fault, bro.
I'll under-deliver for some of our fans out there, but when a team like Rare wants to do Sea of Thieves, when a team like Obsidian wants to do Grounded, when Tango wants to go do Hi-Fi, when everybody probably thought they were doing Evil Within 3, I want to give the teams the creative platform.
That's your fucking mistake, bro. You give the creative platform. Where the fuck is the game? The only fucking game you released is, I don't know, fucking know. I think a racing game. I think Half-Life Rush. I think that's a game called. And Infinite, Halo Infinite. The fucking game are fucking dead now, bro. You released 3 games in the past almost 3 years. Are you fucking serious, Phil? How many decided to tell you? Grab the fucking whip and told them to go back to work. Simple as that. The problem is, you tried to told them to be friends with them. Whip them to go back to work. It's not me being a fucking ass, it's me being a bro. I'm trying to fucking help the actor community. They're trusting they fucking copy like a fucking bitch. Same thing as the Sony fanboys. End of the day, Xbox, you literally need to grow some balls and think, oh fuck, they fucked up. Redfall is a fucking piece of shit game. Their game literally doesn't need to sell for $70 fucking dollars. That's a first $70 for Xbox exclusives, bro. You're gonna have these fucking standards? That's sad.
To go and push their ability, push their aspirations. But I also need to have a great selection of games that are continue to come that surprise.
Where's the fucking games? Where's the games? You literally promised. None.
And delight our fans, and we under-delivered on that, and for that I apologize. It's not what I expect, not what I want. But you know, it's ours to deliver.
Oh my god.
So following up on that, Phil, so again, I appreciate the transparency on that, but there is a second component to this. And as you may or may not know, I talk to a lot of people in the Xbox community because I want to understand, you know, what people are excited about, what they're frustrated about, things like that. So kind of sticking on this conversation about Redfall, but it's kind of a bigger general question as well. And I kind of want to read directly from this so I make sure I get it crystal clear. So what goes into the decision to delay a game when you launch it feature incomplete, or there's a bunch of technical issues? Obviously, we've seen recent examples around the industry. Redfall and Halo Infinite are two that stick out in my mind for Xbox. You know, we obviously have seen the review scores. Clearly, you know, we've had the opinion that the game should be delayed. We know every developer wants to ship the best game that they possibly can, but from your level, you know, what's the balance there on when to ship a game that may be feature incomplete or have some technical issues, or just simply give it more time and delay it?
Well, I think those are, and I'm happy to go very deep on this. I think if I think about a team's execution on a game, we had a creative vision, and did we realize that vision through the game that we created? That's not a delay question if the answer is no. Like, you can't take something that you started on. This isn't a Redfall specific conversation,
right,
but we will build games that review in the high 80s, and we will review.
Why? Where's the fucking review games for the high 80s? None. I'm sorry. If you cannot do a simple fucking goal to make good fucking games, that's fucking sad. You have more money than Sony and Nintendo. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? This is gonna lose Xbox Series S. I'm happy I got a PC now because, my god.
We will build games that review in the 60s. I mean, it's just kind of part of being in game publishing, and if you're afraid of that, then you shouldn't be in the entertainment business, you shouldn't be in the games business. That said, every time we deliver something below our own internal expectations that surprises us, we should check our process. I don't look at the review scores on Redfall, and there are quality issues, and we're working on those. But I think there's...
You are taking too fucking long ass time to fucking do that, bro. You have more studios than Sony and Nintendo. You cannot fucking release fucking games for your Xbox. You literally say the most powerful console for this year. That's kind of fucking pathetic, bro.
A fundamental piece of feedback that we get that the game isn't realizing the creative vision that it had for its players. That doesn't feel like a, hey, just delay it. That feels like the game had a goal to do one thing, and when players are actually playing, they're not feeling
Then what the fuck you need to delay Redfall? Oh, literally, scrap it. Redfall is the fucking shittiest fucking game ever, bro. The gameplay look fucking shit. The story look fucking retarded. The characters, Jesus. The fucking vampire are fucking mentally ill. vampires are fucking retarded now. Jesus Christ, bro.
They're not feeling the creative execution of the team. When a game needs to be delayed, what we did with Halo, we did with Starfield, we did with Red.
When a game need to be delayed, the person who fucking do it is you, Phil. You are the fucking boss at Xbox. Because of your stupidity, people may lose their fucking job. The investors who literally look Microsoft literally see Xbox, and they are, we can literally cut it off. We don't need fucking Xbox to make money. They could, but we have to find out if they're gonna do it. Because they did it to a lot of fucking business they make. You know what? Fuck that.
Fall, because the production timeline is saying we have this vision, and our production timelines don't get us to the completion of that vision. Where we do delay games, we do that. Learning about the quality, there are clearly, I've seen that.
That's why I literally say, Starfield, one of your biggest fucking game you're gonna release this year. Maybe this year, because you mean delete that shit. That's why a lot of people are fucking worrying. They say, you know what? I'm fucking scared this stuff is gonna be shitty. 38 FPS. Serious, bro. 30 FPS for a shitty ass game. Even I agree, I'm not a fan of it. But even so, bro. Even so, bro, you fuck yourself because you release Redfall.
No, there are bugs.
Now people are literally saying, you know what? I'm afraid Xbox gonna do that for Starfield.
That's launching. But when I look at like the crash rates on the game, because we get all the telemetry of everything that's happened, it's not out of proportion for a game that has just launched. It's kind of in the pocket of what we would expect. That's not to deny any of the animation, streaming of texture bugs, the AI bugs that we've seen. We will go work on those. But when I look at the review scores of this game, it's did we have enough of creative differentiation in our core idea, and did we realize that creative ambition? I'm a huge supporter of Arcane Austin. Their track record is awesome. I love a lot of the great games that they've built. This is one where the team didn't hit their own internal goals when it launched. I think it's maybe a little simplistic to just say, hey, if you would have just delayed it 3 months, the core creative of the game would have delivered on something that was different than what it was. So I look at them in different camps. If there's a production timeline issue, we've been open to delaying. If we just have more bugs than we should have at the end of the game, we're open to delaying. At some point, we have to have a creative vision and put the game out, and reviewers and players will tell us what they think.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, of course. Please, Gary.
So I have just a couple of small observations and then a question. First of all, I want to give Phil props for coming on here and talk just for a minute about why.
The only reason Phil are doing this fucking interview, the only reason he's doing this interview is to damage control. I'm so the only time people bosses who do this shit is doing damage control. They are fucking up fucking bad. They had to go to an interview to talk about, oh, we do our fucking best. That's fucking sad.
Why I admire Phil, because he and I have been here before. Back in 2020, during the pandemic, when I was doing Animal Talking, Phil, you'll remember this. Phil was booked to come on my dumb Animal Crossing talk show, and then after he was booked, the news came that Halo Infinite was going to be delayed and would not ship with the Xbox Series X and S, and it was a.
Halo, okay, I'll give you that, because Halo is one of the biggest fucking franchise that Xbox. Now look at what happened. Halo Infinite is fucking dead because this moron literally told the fucking workers release new content every fucking month. But no, they release content every 6 months or more. That's why the Halo fans are pissed off. That's how they went back to play the old ones.
You'll remember it was a big deal. There was a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth and people rending their garments, and I was fully prepared for the other shoe to drop. I was waiting for a call from Xbox PR, from Jeff, you know, your friend of mine, Jeff, over in Xbox PR, to say, Phil's not going to be able to come on the show live because, you know, it's a big mess right now. We don't want to put him in the firing line for that. And Jeff called and I thought, here it is. Here comes the other shoe. And he was like, Phil just wants to know, like, when's the tech rehearsal? Like, it's going ahead. And he came on a live talk show and took a bunch of tough questions on a really tough subject and took it on the chin.
Even I got fucking bullshit for that. You literally actually fucking paying you. Literally, you try to be fucking the nice thing you do. To literally be nice to Phil. No, if you be a fucking asshole, give him tough question, he's gonna literally stop giving you money.
And I've always admired him for that, for not. It would have been very easy for him to pull out and he didn't. He came on and he's doing it again now, and I salute Phil for that. The other point I want to make is that every time there may be some Sony platform warriors out there right now crowing about the fact that Redfall has underperformed. I want to point this out as a.
It's a fucked up reality. I hate Sony fanboys, but they have to take the win for that because they do a lot of fucking stupid ass fucking shit. I can literally say a lot of shit. J-Tag. I mean, most of them fucking retarded. Craig Reamer, whatever his name is, literally did a lot more fucking retarded shit. One of them literally sent dick pic to a fucking Sony creator. He had to be that fucking pissed over a fucking video game. Look at that amazing look it's. Jesus Christ, a special need kid.
Creative. Every time somebody takes a big bet, especially a big AAA bet on an original idea, a new IP, and it fails, everybody suffers. It's bad for everybody because it makes it that much harder for the Phils and the Jim Ryans of the world, the big, you know, the creative, the decision makers, to take a chance on them. Oh, but the last time we did that, it didn't work. Like maybe let's just make a sequel to the next thing, or let the algorithm tell us what to do. So every time somebody takes a risk on something new, and especially if it involves something different in game design, let's try something that has been done. When it doesn't work, it hurts everybody. So I just want everyone to be clear, this sucks for everybody. And I see it in my business, I see it in Hollywood, I see it in film and television. It's why so much content is so...
That's why you had to take a fucking chance to make a good game. I said, oh shit, I can play this game every fucking day. Multiplayer. Halo Infinite was fucking good. Now, it was fucking dead. Because of the contact. They don't put no shit for the game.
Generic and derivative and formulaic because everyone's afraid to take a risk, and when something new succeeds, it's good for everyone. When something new and original fails, it's bad for everyone. So I just want to acknowledge that this is like a big shit sandwich, and we all have to take a bite, including the Sony people, including everybody. Specifically with this is a long time. Specifically with the question about Phil, I want to talk specifically about Redfall. When you say that you're disappointed in the reaction, that to me suggests that the reaction was something different than what you were expecting, what you were hoping for. But I know that
why the fuck did you release the game with bugs and glitches? The AI was fucking retarded. The character, the graphics. You put 3 FPS for a shit fucking game. You the boss of fucking Xbox. You literally kiss. What the fuck are you doing? Look at this shit. The problem with that is you literally say you hands off. Because of that, your game's gonna be shit over and over. You literally need to do this. Hire more people. Tell them to go over there, check out the games, play the games. Then after that, they can give a review to you. Yeah, this game had to be delayed. Oh no, this game is not good. The problem is, you don't. You have the money to hire them. Yes, you do. But the problem is, you don't. You don't want to. You literally try to hands off. See, you literally need to stop acting like a fucking friend. Act like a You have to stop acting like a friend. Start acting like a boss. Get the fucking whip. Tell them to go back to fucking work. Simple as that. This. Get the fucking whip and tell them to go back to work. This is me being fucking nice. Do I like Xbox? Yeah, I play some games there. I'll buy some games. Do I let you go to my Xbox every day to play games there? No, fuck that. Why? Because Xbox let you know that. Oh shit, Xbox had this game out and I want to buy it. No, nope. That's why I got a fucking PC. You know what's funny? I'm getting PSI with PS5 to buy Final Fantasy 16 and maybe Spider-Man. That's saying something.
These big AAA games, they get subjected to all kinds of internal testing. Focus groups come in. There are third-party companies that all come in.
Yeah, taxing my fucking ass. Is that do tax for the game? Why the fuck you release it? Redfall.
Like mock reviews where it comes like hit detection out of the void, tell you here's what you can expect the press to make of your game. So usually you've got a sense of what the game is gonna be, how it's gonna be received before it's released, so you can be prepared for it. So Phil, when you say you're disappointed, does that mean that you thought the game was going to be better received, or was it in line with expectations? How surprised were you by the reaction, or how, like, internally, how much you know? I feel like this one, we know the game it has problems. Like, to what extent was this different from what you expected? And also, and sorry, I know this one a long time. And the second part of that is, when a game is released now, it's not like the old days when a cartridge was shipped in a box and the release of the game was the end of the game's like development cycle. Now it's just the 1.0 release is just a point on the roadmap. To what extent, given that what we're talking about here is not just 30 frames but design issues, things that may be more conceptual, to what extent do you think, or are you committed to continuing to work on the game and getting it maybe a year down the road, Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky, we've seen these redemptive stories in the past. To what extent do you hold out hope that you can still get the game closer to where you wanted it to be at launch? I know that was a lot.
No, but at first I thought your words about creative ambition of teams, you especially, I mean, you've lived this, you've done this, are very well said and very spot on. So thank you for that, and that's why I love your voice in this community, because you've created, you've seen kind of ups, and as anybody in the industry, you've all seen downs. And on the score, yeah, we do mock reviews for every game that we launch, and this is like double digits lower than we thought we would be with this game went through our mock reviews, and that's what's one of the disappointing things. Like we would never strive to launch a game that we thought was going to review in the list.
Then what the fuck do you release Redfall? Why do you release Redfall? Because you literally saw the game, look, okay, release it. Are you serious, Phil? Oh my god. This is why this is gonna piss me off, because you promised the fucking fan good quality fucking games. Games people say, fuck, I'm getting a PS5, no, an Xbox. I said, take this, I can use this, I can play this game on Game Pass. It's not worth downloading Game Pass. This game is not worth downloading Game Pass. I'm sorry, it's true.
60s, it's not part of our goals. If you look at our review scores over the last year, it's not a defense at all. If you look at the review scores over the last year, I think the teams have done a better job in upping the level of quality of the games that we've shipped.
You got fucking bullshit. Look at Redfall. The only game you release for exclusive for the Xbox Series S and PC, both version are fucking shit.
Some of those games first shipped on PlayStation, but still, when I go through the list of the games, you still have to build a game, you still have to ship a game. And this game was significantly below our internal metrics in terms of where it actually reviewed. But that's not on anybody but us. Like, we have to own that. In terms of our commitment to the game, absolutely. The team at Arcane is on.
You say you're gonna own that, but are you sure about that? Are you fucking sure about that?
And taking the near-term feedback, we're still working on the 60 frames per second. We have a good timeline for that.
If you're still working at it, what the fuck is wrong with you? What's wrong with this picture? You're still working at it. You cannot release a fucking great game. At the same time, this is why I literally say, Phil, get that whip, tell them to go back to fucking work. I understand when you're a boss, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. You have to do a lot of shit for the business. You literally are wanting. Why the fuck are you releasing fucking shit ass game? You literally promised to the fans, we going to release good fucking games for the fans. Nothing.
We're committed to getting that done, and we're going to continue to work the game. I think we've shown a commitment to games like Sea of Thieves and like Grounded to continue to go and build games. But I also know that these games are $70, and I'm not gonna I'm gonna take full responsibility for launching a game that needs to be great. You know, I think what I have with the Xbox community, what I am a part of, is a team. There's still questions that pop every so often of how committed is the company to this category. When are we just gonna push Xbox out of the market? There's a lot of Twitter firing of Phil right now, which is fine. I'm way overpaid for the role I have anyway, so.
I agree with it's fine. I agree with the fucking fans. They are pissed. You literally never ever keep your promise. I'm sorry. Game Pass doesn't solve your problem. Games do. Game Pass had some decent fucking games to play. The great games you can literally play is Yakuza. And after that, I don't know what other games you can literally play, because I'm not giving a fuck about Game Pass and Persona. I don't want to waste my fucking money to literally to play games literally I can literally buy for $5 until. Oh, I don't want to pay more to use my own fucking Wi-Fi to play multiplayer fucking games. That's why I fucking stopped buying that shit, because it's not worth it. If you got a PC, much fucking better.
Well, I get that's my responsibility, but we will remain committed to the game and the players as long as the players want to go play games. That's my commitment to the community. I'm kind of at that low point right now in terms of my delivery on that commitment to the community, but it very much stays. I want to support the team, I want to support the creative ambitions of the teams, and I want to support the players. And we let a lot of people down this week with the launch of the game, but we will continue to strive on. You have to, right? That's what creative is about.
No, you absolutely do. And to kind of start transitioning this into hopefully more happy news, but I do want to address something, around that. Obviously today you announced the Xbox Game Showcase, which will be happening this June, and obviously there's going to be a lot of new reveals and surprises that come out of that, which is great. But I am going to bring it back again.
Even I had called bullshit for that. The last game you literally did show is Sophia. Then we'll look at what happened. People talking shit about the game look fucking shit. Even I don't fucking believe that. If they release fucking new games, exclusive games for the Xbox, for PC, to show how powerful is your console, I'll take that out. But right now, nothing, bro. Nothing.
Into another common theme that I do hear through the community, and I've actually said this to you in the past, but it's about communication coming from Xbox. I do feel back in 2021, you did a fantastic job with communication, which arguably has been the best year during this current generation of Xbox. Obviously, we know that 2022 was a light year for Xbox as far as releasing titles. Now, last year, during the showcase, you had the 12-month plan. You didn't necessarily deliver on all the games coming.
No, we didn't deliver. Not no necessarily. We didn't deliver.
Absolutely. So my point of bringing that up is this, talking about some of the lessons learned that come out of that, and obviously even with not every game making the 12 months, going back to, again, game development, things happen, things aren't always going to come on time. But as we go into this showcase, one of the common themes that I hear is, I don't know enough about things that you've announced in the past, like even more specifically going back to 2020. And I'll just run down a quick list of it. Valid, Perfect Dark, Everwild, which is something we really don't know that much about. Fable, State of Decay 3, Contraband. Obviously, we've seen a little more on Hellblade 2. We have studios like In Exile and Compulsion Games that we know are working on things, but we haven't seen any real updates on that. So I title all my questions Balance and Communication, because even in this, it's like, what is that balance on when you show something that you know is going to be years down the road, and kind of that cadence of providing updates along the way. And obviously, as we go into this showcase, not that you need to reveal anything specific here, but what were some of those lessons learned from last year's showcase that you're bringing to this one?
Yeah, and you might try to get me on positive. I'm not in positive mode this week, so I'll apologize for staying in kind of cranky mode. But in terms of lessons learned, I'll even go back to the Redfall videos.
Yeah, because you're not doing your fucking job right. You are the boss of Xbox. You literally need to, every fucking time, if you get a chance, I know you're busy, man. Every time you have just told it, how's the game going? Adi, we're doing great. Alright, I would check every fucking time if I had a chance. Go over there, check the game out. No, or hire people to do it for you.
On IGN of showing videos of the game running at speed.
If a game doesn't look great, no, continue working on it, finish it. If the game great, oh yeah, if the game look fucking great, cancel it.
On PC, at the point knowing that the game was going to run 30 frames per second at launch on console. Like, we have to be transparent about what we're showing, that what we're showing is representative of what our console customer, our most committed customer to our brand, financially committed, what they're going to see, what they're going to play, and that transparency just has to get better. And I'm not pointing at anybody but myself, right? I guess at some point I will have enough knocks against me that it's somebody else here, but that I think it's transparency in what we're building, what our aspiration is for the game, what it's going to look like, what the futures are. And it drives me crazy when we self-inflicted wounds of kind of putting things out there in communication that's confusing or misleading about what the actual end product is going to be. So you can try to take me to positive space. I'm in that headspace right now. That said, when I go and I look at Showcase, I'm not going to try to oversell Showcase here, because if I were on the other side of watching this, it's like, hey, after Redfall, I'm going to put my hands on the controller, and that's what's going to take to kind of prove to me. But that's not what Showcase is. So I'm very enthusiastic about Showcase.
Oh my god, not just say about
this.
this.
That people haven't seen, some new games. We're going to give updates to some of the things that.
I'm sorry, but it's been almost 2 or 3 years already. You are now releasing games people want to play, bro. It could change in June, but right now, nothing.
That were on your list. The other thing that gets me really excited is when I look forward over the next quarters, which has always been my focus of how do we get a big game out every quarter at quality. That things are lining up finally after some of the slowdown through COVID. I'm tired of talking about that.
I'm sorry, but if you continue bringing COVID, I'm sorry, you have to get penalized for that. COVID's been done for a year already, or 2. Stop talking about it. Stop making excuses about COVID. That shit is over.
But I can now see that we've got games coming every quarter that I think will surprise and delight our customers. We still have to deliver on the creative. We still have to deliver on the technical. Not every game we
My fucking ass.
ship is for everybody. We know that. Like, I don't want to build. I'm not trying to build the one game to rule them all. We will have different creative takes and we have a very diverse portfolio when you think about the stuff that Microsoft Game Studios builds. But I like that. I think for what we're trying to do as Xbox, which isn't to mimic any of the other platforms out there, create our own brand and identity, the diversity of what we build, hopefully will end up being a strength. But we have to do it at quality. We have to do it on time, and we have to show people what they're actually going to see. We have to show gameplay, and I think I'm kind of beyond that. Like, we've got to put great games in the hands of our players. There's nothing else.
If I could follow up on that, and I apologize, I do not want to dominate the conversation, but I make sure I want to follow up on the point of everything that you just said, and I'll take it from a personal standpoint. I've been a big believer in what Xbox has been building since about 2016, right? Xbox Play Anywhere, Game Pass, the Series X and S, just the cloud initiative, everything. I love all the services and the marketing message that you present to the community. But to your point, and for me personally, I have Game Pass. My kids play it. We all love it. But like you even mentioned, delivering quality experiences every quarter, things like that. That's the sentiment that we get from the community right now. That's the sentiment that I even have of, it's great to talk about these things. I think we've been talking about them ad nauseum. It's like, when are we going to get to that point of actually delivering these experiences? Like, I just ran down those games. There's 20-something studios. Forget Activision. Xbox Game Studios, what it is today. There's more than enough studios and titles out there that we're all anticipating. And I think that is the common frustration that I see out there from people, that it's like, we're tired of hearing, wait till next year. And I know you know that. But
I know. And
yeah.
This year started out well.
Yeah,
I
yes,
thought
it did.
Developer Direct was received well. The team did a really good job, I thought, with the messaging around to your point, around setting expectation. And I will even say, yes, I'm rooting for the home team here, but I'll say over-delivering on expectations of that show versus what it was. I think the drop of Hi-Fi to say, hey, if you've got Game Pass, you don't even have to buy the game. Like, just go play. People loved Hi-Fi. Something we don't talk a lot about that same month, Age 2 on console shipped. Truth be told, more people are playing a bunch of people are playing Hi-Fi and Age 2, but Age 2 actually has more players right now. But all the fanfare goes to the highly rated kind of new Hi-Fi. Get that. I know the review scores on Minecraft Legends. Minecraft, I think, always reviews somewhere kind of different than the top. But if I look at the reaction, I think we've already had over 3 million people playing. I saw, like, its launch week, it was the #1 retail game on the Switch in Japan, which isn't always where Microsoft sits in terms of sales. So I feel like momentum is building, and then something like Redfall happens, and the Xbox community should demand a lot from us as a team. Where we sit inside of Microsoft, we've got the resources to do better. 2022 was, as you said, a very light year, I think is what you said. I might have other words for it. And then 2023, we started well, and this was a knockback. But it's our job to go and deliver on the next games. I can only look forward, right? I can sit here and wallow in my own frustration. But all I can do is say, I'm going to do better tomorrow than I did yesterday, and continue to support the teams and continue to grow. But yeah, I think it is ours to prove that. I can say now, and everybody can already stop, I don't want to hear what Phil has to say about the future, and I kind of fully respect that point of view, that we've got Starfield coming, we've got Forza coming, we've got Hellblade coming, like, we've got collections of...
If you have only 3 fucking games, you say it's coming. That's fucking sad. Why the fuck are you not release games? Up to 20 games this fucking year. Or more. Or next year, even 2. Because you have more company, studios, than no, what the fuck is it? I was gonna say but you have more studio than PlayStation and Nintendo. Are you kidding me? Jesus.
Games, I'm seeing very good builds of Avowed and stuff like we're in. Like I can see it, but until you have a controller in your hand and you're smiling from playing our games, none of my words should matter.
Shout out to Honey for sponsoring this episode. Honey is the
Let me.
Paris was just talking about what have you learned. And I want to go back to that in the case of Redfall, even just as a case study for things like this when they happen in general. Because Redfall wasn't even the only game to stumble out of the gate this week. Look at the PC version of Jedi Survivor. What a mess.
We're not talking about Star Wars. We talk about you. You own fucking game you release.
Unacceptable that that game shipped in the state that it...
I agree with that, but at the same time, we talk about you fucking Xbox.
Well, and they must have known. It was, oh, geez, the game has bugs. No, you knew, and you shipped it anyway. So EA Respawn, for even on a massive title like that, it's going to be a Game of the Year contender. We all know that, but like the PC version was unacceptable. My understanding is the PlayStation version's a bit of a mess as well. So we're still seeing this stuff happening on the regular. Just in general, when things, I'm fascinated, as you might know, I'm fascinated by the subject of failure because I've experienced a lot of it in my own career and in my personal life as well, and I think about it a lot. The number one quote that I stole from this person much smarter than me, I talk about it all the time when I talk about writing at creative seminars and things like that, is failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. But that's only true if you can get past feeling sorry for yourself when something fails and sift through the rubble and start figuring out, well, what can we learn? What can we learn from this failure? What can we take from this? What is teachable? And so I wanted to ask Phil, both in general and in the case of Redfall, I know you said you're going to work towards kind of turning the game around, but like, do you have a formal process, and what does it look like in the case of Redfall when something doesn't meet expectations? What is it something you get into right away, or do you wait for the dust to settle? What is the post-mortem process? What is the what went wrong, and how do we prevent this from happening again process look like at Xbox?
Yeah, it's a great...
Get that whip, told them to go back to fucking work. Simple as that. Stop being a friend and become a great boss. Oh shit, I respect this man because he want me to work my ass off to make great games. Plus, you don't need to get fucking fired. You don't need to worry about, oh, I'm scared maybe the company may shut us down.
Great point. And I think I love you.
Microsoft will,
Lift that for me.
if they need to.
People don't have to care about this, but I'll talk about it. When we acquire studios, there's games that are in development when we acquire a studio, and then there's things that are either really early in development or not even conceived yet. And I think we need to improve on engaging in games that are midway through production when they become part of Xbox. I do think there's a different expectation for a game and even a team when you've been third party and all of a sudden you become part of first party. There's a different expectation in terms of how you're going to perform on our console. I think there's a different competitive set when people look at what this game is and the other games that they're going to say, hey, I want this game to feel as competitive as this other game on another console platform in our case. And we didn't do a good job early on in engaging with Arcane Austin to really help them understand what it meant to be part of Xbox and part of first party and use some of our internal resources.
That's the part you fucked up. How many times I have to tell you? Stop being a friend, act like a boss. Stop giving them hands off and go full on with them. Stop being a friend and be a boss. Get the fucking whip and tell them to go back to fucking work. Get the whip.
I've
Simple as that.
to help them and kind of move along that journey even faster. So we kind of left them to go work on the game. They're a very talented team. I love that team. I still do, and I will totally bet on them to do another great game. But when like Matt Booty and Jamie Leaders, running ZeniMax, and I sit down, I think we can engage earlier with our different studios. And
you always have to check out these fucking studios every fucking time you have a chance. Every fucking week, do it. Every week, do it.
And I do think there's a difference when we come in when the creative's already set on a game. That's not washing our hands of any of the creative. Every game we ship from our teams is an Xbox game, and so it's a full responsibility for it. But thinking about how our internal processes of dev assistance, even some of our internal ATG resources, which is the Advanced Technology Group, and how those work with our internal teams, I think we can do a better job with our internal team. We did a better job with Starfield. Again, nobody should believe it until they're playing the game, but that game was earlier on in production, and it was easier for us to kind of swarm a bunch of people to go and kind of help with some of the technology on our platform and ensure that we're going to ship a quality experience there. And we should have been there for Harvey and the team earlier. I think that's on us. And then through the process, you know, it's an Unreal game. We have a bunch of studios that have done some really great work on Unreal over the years.
You like a fucking bullshit, bro. Unreal, I don't know about this kind of shit, but it may not be a bit technology, yeah, don't know too much about it. Used to are not releasing fucking games that people want. I'm sorry, but it's fucking true. You're not releasing games literally every fucking month. You release a game around every 6 or 5, 3 or 4 years. One fucking imagine. Are you serious, bro?
And I think we were too late to help in that when they had certain issues that they were working through, which any team will. It's nothing to do with the specific engine. But we have a lot of experience, and we needed to get on that earlier with the team. And we didn't do that. And that's not an excuse, and you asked us to kind of diagnose. So when the 60 frames per second issue came up, we were definitely diving in. We had people from the Coalition and people from Rare and stuff looking, both teams that have done some really great work with Unreal to help us build a 60 FPS plan. But obviously that was a plan that had to be in place last fall in order for us to really be in a position to have it at launch. And I take that as learning, as painful as it is. But as you said, you know, it's part of getting to success are those learnings and that diagnosis. There's a bunch of other stuff I could go into, but then we end up with kind of dev doc, which I'm happy to do, but that, yeah.
Well, Phil, we don't have much time with you, so I'm going to go around the table, give everybody one final question for Phil. I'm going to rattle off a couple quick ones with you, Phil. Of course, we talk about 60 frames, 30 frames. Should Xbox players expect a clear message this summer with Starfield with 30 and 60 frames? That's a big lesson learned, as you brought up. Should we expect that answer? It's clear as day?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great one. Another one, you see a lot of conversation, of course. I want to praise you and the team.
You fucking pussy. Answer good fucking question, not shit question like this.
We're really elevating the PC side of this Xbox ecosystem. I think we've seen a lot of great strides in that. But when you see the community talk about the console side of things, do you think you've lost the focus or maybe put too much onto the PC side? Do you think that the console is still getting the console love that it deserves, whether it be the homepage update, achievements, of course, looking forward and using the power of this next gen? Do you think you guys have lost that focus, or is it still there, and can we see more love on that side?
Well, we'll definitely continue to focus on making our console experience as great as it can be. I like the homepage refresh and some stuff. I will say, this might be disruptive as well, we have a different vision. Well, Paris talked about this. It's play the games you want with the people you want anywhere you want. We want Xbox to be something that people who buy our console can feel like they're a member of. Obviously, who are playing on PC, who are playing on cloud, but they feel like they're full members of our ecosystem. Game Pass players can play on many different devices, and we remain fully committed to that. We're not in the business of out consoling Sony or out.
That's fucking bullshit. Why are you buying studios? to make your game exclusive for Xbox and PC. Why? To even I can't fucking bullshit is this.
Consoling Nintendo. There isn't really a great solution or win for us. And I know that will upset a ton of people, but it's just the truth of the matter is that when you're
Shit. Sorry guys. I hear his fucking bullshit.
third place in the console marketplace and the top two players are as strong as they are and have, in certain cases, very discrete focus on doing deals and other things that will that kind of make being Xbox hard for us as a team. That's on us, not on anybody else. Our vision is that everybody who's on console has to feel like they have a great experience and they're a first-class citizen. They've invested a ton in our platform. But we are not in a position, and I see it out there, I see commentary, that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true.
It's fucking true. A lot of people are buying PS5s for PlayStation exclusive games. And I hate that they do that, but even so, they're still buying it. And the back 360 header, I heard a lot of people who literally say they buy PS3. You know, they fuck, I regret that shit. I want to get Xbox 360 because at that time you make a great game. From now, you are taking L after L, Phil. Games do sell better in your console if you do it right. Do it like Sony.
That if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console share shift in
It does, Moran.
some dramatic way. We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One generation.
Whose fault was it? It was yours.
Where everybody built their digital library of games. So when you go and you're building on Xbox, we want our Xbox community to feel awesome. But this idea that if we just focused more on great games on our console, that somehow we're going to win the console race.
Bro, you do need to do that. Why? Because I never said I was gonna get a PS5. After they released Final Fantasy 16, you know what? I was saying, fuck, now I want to get a PS4 for that game. They may be released and release a teaser for Spider-Man. Fuck, I may get it for Spider-Man. There's Final Fantasy 16. Fuck! I'm getting the PS5. I'm getting the PS5. I'm gonna try to get the PS5 special edition. I think because get the PS5, you can literally get a Final Fantasy 16 console exclusive thing.
And it doesn't really relate to the reality of most people. Like 90% of the people every year who walk into a retailer to buy a console are already a member of one of the three ecosystems. And their digital library is there. This is the first generation where the big games that they're playing were games that were available last gen. When you think about Fortnite and Roblox and Minecraft, like the continuity from generation to generation is so strong. I see a lot of pundits out there that kind of want to go back to the time where we all had cartridges and discs and every new generation was a clean slate and you could switch the whole console share. That's just not the world that we are in today. There is no world where Starfield's an 11 out of 10 and people start selling their PS5. It's not going to happen. So what we have to do, and we have this unique vision because we see what creators want. Creators want to build games that can meet players on any screen. People play with their friends.
Why the fuck are you not doing that? Make fucking great games that people literally say, I'm gonna get you console, but you the problem is you're a fucking moron if you don't release that. I'm sorry, you had to get pimp slapped for that, Phil. This is me trying to be the nicest person ever. Try to do this. Try to get your fucking feedback. The problem with that is you don't listen. That's right. I don't know, it may be true. You may get fired. That's what I heard. Because you're not doing a great job for Xbox.
Regardless of what other screen they're on. And the console is the core of the Xbox brand. There's no doubt. So like, we will stay focused on making sure that console experience is awesome. But I know some people want to hold us up of just being a better green version of what the blue guys do. And I'm just going to say, like, there's not a win for Xbox in staying in the wake of somebody else. We have to go off and do our own thing with Game Pass, with the stuff we do with xCloud, and the way we build our games. Sorry, it was a little long-winded.
No, that was perfect. And unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, Phil. I know that we have a hard out here, but I want to end it with something positive, Phil, because I've gotten cranky, Phil, this whole episode, and I freaking love you, and I appreciate you being on and being hard with us, but I do need something positive out of you, Phil. So before you leave, tell me and the Xbox community something positive that you're looking forward to, that you're playing, anything fun to bring a smile to your face.
Dude, I'm an optimist. Like, you know, I will always see how.
This is the pussy fucking question I ever heard, bro. Pussies. Literally, right now, this guy and this guy are jerking off fucking Xbox. Yes, Daddy Phil. Please give me the money.
I'll use this for you.
Dirty slut.
Between the trees, I'll always see the fresh foul. Like, this is why I'm here. I love the games that are ahead of us. I'm having a great time playing the games that are available in Game Pass today. I look in Ravenlock coming, Benedict's here. Like, I just love playing video games. One of the things I am excited about is the ROG Ally, something I've got my hands on, if people have had a chance to play with that. And I just love the fact that here's another device that people are going to get to go experience great games on. Whether it's your Steam Deck or that or your Xbox, you know, I see the growth in video games. I get to spend time with creators who are excited about the opportunity that they have. I get to go play some amazing games. Some of those are Game Pass, some of those not. And I just think the gaming space has never been more diversely creative than it is right now, and it's a privilege to be a part of it.
I love hearing that. Paris, end us with this episode. What do you got to say, and let's get out of here.
Yeah, just a quick statement as we get out of here. First and foremost, Phil, thank you for doing this. This is clearly not the conversation we thought we were going to have when we scheduled this, but we do appreciate your candor and just being 100% honest about the current state of what's going on with Xbox. I am hopeful in the future we can have more conversations about what ID at Xbox is doing in their initiatives, Game Camp New Orleans, things like that are more positive and enabling more creators, because that's what I really wanted to talk about this episode. But as we go into June, I am looking forward to the showcase. I am looking forward to the reveals that are coming, and you know, I still think the future is bright for Xbox and Xbox Game Studios and what you'll have to present. This is a bump in the road, but I still think the future's going to be bright. So again, thank you so much for doing this.
All right, well, on behalf of my two gaming dads,
Jesus fucking Christ, this show is so fucking retarded, bro. So fucking cringe.
Thank you, Phil Spencer, for joining us on this week's Kinda Funny Xcast. Of course, thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with us. We will see you next week, and Team Xbox will see you in June for the big Xbox game showcase, and of course that deep dive into Starfield. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll catch you back next week.
They're just fucking so fucking cringe. This is so bad. But anyways,
Next time you want to trend, just come into my comment.
oh, I forgot about this one. Dreamcast is a fucking moron. But I'll give you this. He's taking W sometime, but not all the time. But anyways, let me go back. But anyways, yeah, I give it. It's gonna piss me off because Xbox literally promise us fucking games. They literally say, "Oh, I'm going to promise the fans," but they're not doing it. Here's the funny reality. For me, the game that I'm literally waiting for is Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man, and two fucking anime games are fucking great. First one is Naruto Storm Connection, and Budokai Tenkaichi 4 motherfucker. These two fucking games I'm waiting for anime fans. Two fucking great games. But I think we can watch one more video. I think, see if I can find it. Okay, fine. This one.
Alright, y'all.
Alright, let me go, please.
Alright, y'all. I think it.
Do you know this guy? Ultimate Novel? Great guy. Know him personal? Check out his channel.
It's safe to say that
He's gonna talk about Xbox. What the fuck not?
Xbox was just a one-hit wonder. Do y'all remember the 360 era? Because that was like, didn't that come out 05? And then the Xbox One came out late 2013. So that's how long ago it was. And if you were around when the Xbox 360 was popping, y'all remember that this was like the most hype gaming could ever reach. The Xbox 360 hype was real. I mean, think about those times, right? You come home after school, you get on Xbox Live with the boys, and y'all got a selection to play. You can either play some Halo and Call of Duty with the boys, or you can play some Lost Odyssey, Fable, you name it. Gears of War, I mean, Left 4 Dead, Forza, like, I can go on forever. The Xbox 360, man, that came out when I was in elementary school. Damn, was it that long ago? And it doesn't even feel like that, because nowadays, Xbox is just being branded as some nostalgia console these days. You know, it kind of goes...
He's not fucking wrong.
Goes like this. Hey, y'all remember the Xbox 360? Oh yeah, I bet you wish you can go back in time and play and relive your childhood. Well, don't worry, get yourself an Xbox Series X. You can replay those 360 games and remember what made Xbox good. And here's the best part. We ain't gonna live up to that hype anymore. Especially when I saw that interview recently with Phil Spencer, Kinda Funny Games and all that, or whatever the hell the name of the podcast was called. It's talking about Xbox and Redfall and all the games and why the state of Xbox is the way it is. And man, honestly, I at this point, I really do believe when it comes to questioning Phil Spencer's leadership, if you're questioning if you think he's a good leader, that interview should tell you everything you need to know. Because I noticed a cycle, rinse, and repeat pattern that's been going on. Hey guys, that game we've built some hype around, yeah, it didn't do so good, but you know what, man? We do it for you guys. You know, like, we don't want to let the community down. So you know what, y'all? We're gonna take the criticism that you be giving us, we're gonna hear you out, and we're gonna do better next time. And then the same BS happens again, and it's like, you know what, y'all?
He's speaking facts, bro. Speaking facts. This is what Spirit fans says. That's why this is a rumor. He may get fired because he's not doing a great fucking job. That's why I say a rumor. I'm not saying it's true. I say it's a rumor. Even he's saying, you know, make it something worthy. Even so, bro, Microsoft was fucking pissed off. Phil is not doing his job right.
It's not really our fault. It's because PlayStation and Nintendo, they're really giving us a run for our money, you know.
That kind of fucking bullshit. You have more studios, more people to make fucking games. But you can. You're not doing a great job, Phil.
You know, they're giving us, they got all the deals going on, they got all this and that. Especially when Phil Spencer said that, you know, even if they come out with great games, that it's not gonna push the console any further. Like, I mean, duh. And if you really believe that, why the hell are y'all buying companies then? Like Bethesda, Activision, like what?
Right? Even I fucking say that shit, bro. What the fuck are you buying companies? You literally say, dude, you know?
What are you trying to gain then? At that point, don't make any more exclusive.
They're trying to do console war, but the problem is, Phil is a fucking moron who doesn't understand it. Dude, he's a fucked up every day. Phil was in the company for years. After he became the boss, it went downhill.
I mean, you kind of are at that point because
The only thing he did good is Game Pass. After that, I'm sorry, Game Pass doesn't solve your fucking problems.
it seems like you've given up. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate that you guys are bringing games to PC for sure. Like, I would much rather play Xbox games on PC
Same.
than playing on Xbox. When the Xbox 360 came out, it was cheaper than the PS3, and it had some badass exclusives too. Then it all flip-flopped from the PS4 generation, the PS4 and Xbox One. Now that's where everything got interesting, because all the things that we all made fun of PlayStation 3 for doing, Xbox made sure to do that too, and they really shot themselves in the foot because they just made it. It's like they wanted PS4 to kick their ass and be a laughingstock of that whole generation. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. But this time around, you know, I was really kind of hoping that, you know, if Sony can make a massive comeback, you know, the PlayStation 3 didn't do too well, so you know what? They killed it in the PS4. And same thing with Nintendo. Nintendo didn't do too well with Wii U, but then they came back and made a massive comeback with the Nintendo Switch. So I thought, you know what? Sure, Xbox One, terrible console generation for obviously the Xbox brand, but I really believe that they learned a valuable lesson and maybe they'll stuff it up. It kind of, you know, there were some promises being shown, okay? Like, you buy all these companies, you buy Bethesda, Game Pass had such a very good deal going for itself. You had the Series X and the Series S, so it's kind of like, hey.
Right? Dude, Microsoft bought a lot of fucking companies to fucking make games. After they release the Xbox Series X, they say, oh, this is console. That's why we buy the fucking studio to make great games. But nothing. It could change in June, but right now, nothing, bitch.
Hey, if you want to get into gaming, you know, buy yourself a Series S for $300. And at the time when the Series S came out, I remember Game Pass was $1 for 3 months, and then turned to $1 per month. And I don't think they do the $1 deal anymore. But that's
fucking gay. They take that shit out. The only time I get Game Pass, this shit is $1. Only time. But now, post this.
besides the point. Yeah, I mean, just Game Pass alone was pretty hype, and it kind of kept people who played on Xbox well fed until some actual AAA games come out. But I mean, what's come out? What has come out for the Series X and S that can get anybody playing Xbox?
That's right.
Or anybody that thought about getting an Xbox hype. I can't think of anything. Forza Horizon 5, sure. Bro, that game held the Xbox One generation. The only thing you had going on last generation was Forza, so it's kind of like, I'm kind of getting tired of hearing about Forza, because I know Forza is probably going to be your only good game, but y'all got to do something else. So it's like, okay, y'all bringing Halo back, right? Halo Infinite. And you know what, man? I remember when that game came out. I played it, had a lot of fun, but barely any content, and it was all these issues with the launch. I'm like, y'all couldn't get Halo right? Like, Halo is the reason why so many people I knew got an Xbox, and y'all messed that up. You know what made it worse is that Halo Infinite was supposed to come out day one with the Series X. Halo hasn't launched next to Xbox since the original Xbox. Bro, that would have been some awesome marketing. The visuals did not look like it was pushing the console. So you delay it for a whole year, and you know what? It was showing promise in the beta. So when the actual game came out, it sucked because you would think that it was still in the beta stages. Like, unacceptable for a AAA game, especially with Microsoft funding it. Like, what's y'all reason for slacking on this? So yeah, a very solid 2021 for the X and S console, am I right?
He's speaking facts, bro.
Hey, y'all, 2020 launched with no exclusives. People were willing to wait because, you know, you were given all these games on Game Pass. 2021 comes around, you get 2 AAA games. One does really good. In 2022, y'all had nothing going on for 2022.
Yep, nothing.
So I'm like, okay, wait another year. They gotta come out with the bangers for 2023, right? And not only that, but it's like when you hear Phil Spencer talk, he has all this like confidence that like, yeah, we're gonna deliver some of the best games. The community is gonna be very, very happy with us. Oh, but dear God, man, like when we get to Redfall, the first AAA game we get in a long time, right? and it's the first $70 Xbox console exclusive game, and it feels like a damn indie game made by 10 people with the budget of a Pringle and corn chips. It's
not fucking wrong. You know what's funny? It's what YouTubers heard about. If you hire a college student after they finish they fucking deliver for computers, whatever it's called, they can make a better game than fucking anybody in Xbox.
It's a $70 AAA game, a Bethesda game funded by Microsoft, and it came out the state that it's in. It doesn't even have 60 frames per second, y'all. And you're wondering why you're getting ratioed hard, because it's like you're saying, hey, to be an Xbox fan, you gotta lower your standards and expect disappointment because that's the only true quality we give. Oh,
Facts.
just so disappointing. And you know, with all that, I'm not even hyped for Starfield anymore. I was like, you know, it sounded cool because I'm like, alright, Bethesda coming out a new game, it's gotta be cool. Saw the gameplay and I'm just like, I don't know. And then it got delayed, and now, and every time when it comes to Xbox games being delayed, I just know at this point it's not gonna be good. Halo Infinite got delayed, look where that got him. Redfall got delayed, look where that got him. So Starfield gets delayed, and now I'm just not even like expecting anything. It shouldn't be in this state. Like, y'all got the money, the resources, y'all got the teams, like, you have what you need. Now I'm just believing, I don't think there's any real problem other than leadership. Well, I mean, it's always been leadership. The thing is that the more issues that keep happening and the more that Phil Spencer keeps talking, the more I'm starting to really think that, you know what, Microsoft, I think y'all gotta step in, either keep this man in check so that way he can keep all his studios in check, or y'all gotta get somebody new. Like, I'm just keeping it 100 with you. And
He's not fucking wrong. Not fucking wrong.
hate for someone to like lose a position, but if you're showing that you can't lead, then you know, I think it's time to go somewhere else. It just feels like it's game over, and the only way you can make a comeback is if you get someone that knows what they're doing, get someone that actually is gonna get things done, and then I think you'll see Xbox start to go back to the way it used to be. But other than that, y'all, I'm not gonna hold my breath. Actually, I should give a big thank you to Xbox because they're actually the reason why I switched to PC. But anyways, y'all, I just really had to vent, man, as a person that kind of misses that era. Someone that was kind of rooting for them this generation, because I'm like, okay, you know, they're the underdogs of this generation, they gotta
PC Master Race, bitches.
You know, do a lot of catching up to do. You know, they keep slacking, man, and there's no reason for me to defend them at all or anything like that. But anyways, y'all
That's what make fun of them.
let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I guess that's about it.
Here's a advice for Phil. Told them to go back to fucking war. Get that fucking whip. Get that fucking whip. Told them to go back to work. Fucking work. But anyways, yeah, if you had a chance to check this guy out, because he's a person I know, he make some decent fucking videos. Yeah, I think I'm done because I literally want to do a video for like if the Phil Spencer live stream, whatever, interview. Yeah, I hope I have a great day, great afternoon, great night.